Inglourious Basterds came out in 2009, and it's just kind of one of those films you probably feel like you should have your take on at some point. And I am one of those, of course. It was directed by Quentin Tarantino, as well as starring the likes of Brad Pitt, Christoph Waltz, Diane Kruger, Eli Roth. You also have Michael Fassbender in there, and many others. And like I said, it's just one of those films I kind of want to get my take on at some point, even if it is like a 2 hour and 33-minute film. I'm not like a big Quentin Tarantino guy. I admire some of his style, but I haven't seen all of his films, and I'm not necessarily one that sees him as a holy grail, but nonetheless, I do check out his work from time to time. And so of course, it takes place during World War II. It's about some assassinations and different ploys against Nazis during World War II. I know there's some controversy around this film. I'm not going to get too much into that, but as far as that goes, I think Quentin Tarantino's films very much exist in his own world. They're not trying to be documentaries. They're not trying to be some decisive fact of reality. They're kind of just playing along in his in his realm. So there's violence. There's some serious stakes and consequences, but at the same time there's like his brand of humor and kind of on the nose awareness and stuff like that I don't think it's meant to be taken like fully verbatim. But anyway, I like this film. I don't absolutely love it. The performances are pretty fun for the most part. I think the highlight was Christoph Waltz, who I also really loved in Water for Elephants and other things, as the lead Nazi officer. Brad Pitt fits the American leader pretty well. But I don't know, I'm mixed on what I have seen with Quentin Tarantino. Again, I recognize his what can be his brilliance sometimes with dialogue and the actors he chooses and such, but at the same time he's one of those that feels a little self-indulgent or overindulgent with himself. He probably doesn't need to be almost 3 hours long, and sometimes I don't know if he's as smart as he thinks he is. But anyway, it's just a certain mood, I guess. But yeah, and then there's that weird foot fetish thing about him. There's a certain female in this that gets her shoes matched to see if she was at a certain place at a certain time, and then there's a zoom in on the feet, and then she proceeds to get strangled and killed by the guy, without spoilers. But so stuff like that's a little odd, but I do think this is a unique film for sure. I do think it's worth looking at yourself and getting your take on it, like I did with for myself. But yeah, there are entertaining performances, and the opening scene with Christoph Waltz at the house is very memorable. So yeah, overall, like it, don't love it, but I get its place.